Alright. Hello, my name is DJ, and I'm just doing a quick, build guide. I just wanted to get off my chest because I've been doing a lot of theory crafting for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Yes, I know, Valhalla's already out, but I really enjoy this game, and I've been thinking a lot about how I want to do my late game builds, so this is where I've ended up so far. We're doing a warrior build. I guess abilities, really trying to be minimalist on the primary tree. We've got a couple other abilities over here, but my primary four abilities are Fury the Bloodline from the DLC. This gets us it generates 4 adrenaline segments, costs 1, so it's net plus 3 adrenaline segments. This is a build built around overpower attacks. We're basically maximizing how much damage this attack does. You notice it requires only 2 full adrenaline segments instead of 3 normally. That's because of one of the legendary abilities I'll get to on my equipment. Battle Cry of Ares. This doesn't cost adrenaline, and it gives me an extra 50% more damage for 20 seconds. This is... We try and Battle Cry of Ares and then do as many overpower attacks during Battle Cry of Ares in the hopes of killing our opponent, using Fury of the Bloodline to get more adrenaline. Kind of these 3 abilities are what makes the build work. Everything else, just Weapon Master, Gear Master to get more damage and armor. Shield Breaker in case they happen to have a shield. I take Spartan Kick just because we want to sometimes have non-lethal damage or KPL Whiff, and Second Wind is basically necessary for every build. I also take Slow Time off the Assassin's tree. Moving in Slow Time allows us... It often is net Adrenaline plus, because you can dodge all their attacks or parry them, and then you can get back the full segment plus some with the rest of your inventory. As far as the actual weapons go, I take Sword for single target DPS. I've got extra damage for adrenaline. I've got extra adrenaline gain and extra damage on elites and bosses. I've got the Minotaur Labrys, so I killed the Minotaur, and that gives me a -1 adrenaline cost, and so that's incredibly key for this entire build. If you don't want to use this particular weapon, you could definitely engrave it onto something else. And the -25% cooldown duration, even though Overwhelming Strikes doesn't have a cooldown duration, the Fury of the Bloodline absolutely does, and this basically determines how much damage you're going to deal because it's giving you extra adrenaline segments, and also Slow Time going off more often means that you're more often basically invincible, because during this ability it's very hard for you to get hit and take damage. And I know that during the demo I'm definitely going to take damage to do that. The bow, I basically use this as a stat stick. I'm not actually, but I wanted the 20% health and armor and the crit percent damage, so I ended up on a hunter bow instead of a warrior bow. My warrior damage is still pretty fine anyway. As far as legendary sets go, you could do this with epics if you wanted to do something slightly different, but I'm just using this plus 50% with warrior ability specifically. That's a huge amount of damage with overwhelming strikes, and you'll see that most of the damage of this is off of overwhelming strikes. I put on damage with all abilities, adrenaline per hit, all resistances, crit chance, and I put all arrows, pierce shields just for convenience sake, but mostly because I don't have anything else good to put on the warrior boots. And yeah, Abraxas just for fun. Alright, so now that you've seen the basic rundown of everything that's in this, I'm going to demo this set by playing against a mercenary that is 5 levels above me. Alright. Ares Cry, just to get the extra damage. And we're starting with Overwhelming Strikes. Do it again. I'm going to turn this into generating adrenaline. Alright, now our Ares is done at the end of this. We can do one more Overwhelming Strike just for fun's sake. Now we're going to Slow Time. This should get a parry off. And you notice I've generated way more adrenaline than that cost. One more Overwhelming Strike. And you notice during the Overwhelming Strike that my cooldowns are actually going off. That's actually really key for the ability. We want to have the whole cinematic going on. Now I can generate more adrenaline. Yep. And basically I spent the entirety of a fight against an enemy that's 5 levels above me in cinematic mode. So yeah, I think this build is incredibly effective, and if you're looking for something that can, I think, take on any mercenary or boss in the game, this is what I would do. Thanks everyone, have a good time.